Good day, and welcome to the presentation of Litestar 4D version 201, the new version of Oxitec's lighting design system. Let's start with the photo view, the module capable of managing the photometric files of the luminaires. We added a brand new feature, which is the tilting around the C0 180 degree plane or the C90 270 degrees plane. This can be done in a very simple way, and then it is possible to save the new photometry coming out from the rotation from the tilting of the photometry into a brand new photometry. You have here a brief idea of about how the new feature is working. In here we have the original photometry. Here we define the plane along which we want to tilt the photometry, the angle definition, the steps for the gamma angles and for the C-half planes, and this is the photometry, the final photometry coming out from the tilting. This is the latest feature which was missing about the conversion of the old module, the PhotoWin, and now the photo view is totally replacing the PhotoWin. So it will, the PhotoWin will be retired in a very short time, we think within next month, even though there is quite a lot of people still using the PhotoWin. Let's come now to the LightCalc, the lighting design module. We introduced some new features and some changes at the wizard for roads and at the advanced roads module, and in particular we introduced the pole setback in the wizard for roads, and in the advanced module we introduced a feature to insert, copy, add at the bottom and duplicate. We also made a huge work in the definition of the descriptions with the corresponding legends you have here. And this is peculiar of any page of the program. Another big change introduced with this new version is the new numbering and cataloging system. It means that before it was not so clear, and it was quite confusing for the people using the program. It was confusing how the different zones and areas developed through the programs were named at the monitor, at the corresponding results, and at the printouts. Now we have a unique system. You can see here, for example, what's appearing at the monitor when you work with the advanced module for roads, for road lighting. In here we have the zone. So in this case, this is the first zone introduced, which is the zone close to the axis, the x-axis, and close to the origin. Then we have a subzone, which is called which is named 1.1. If we have different subzones belonging to the same zone, it will be 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. This way of numbering is common to the monitor, is common to the results view, and is common to the printouts. Another big change was introduced in the management of the 2D and 3D DXF file import feature. Now it is possible whenever you drag and drop or you open a DXF file, it could be a 2D or a 3D, it doesn't make any big difference. So whenever you open or drag and drop the DXF file into the program, this window you have here at your right will appear. This window is capable of managing the center, so it shows the distance in many cases in between the origin of the axis and the drawing. In many cases, the drawing is far away from the origin, so usually it is difficult to visualize where the drawing is. With the new window, the origin will be placed down here at the left bottom of the second window, and the drawing will be shown with a little point. Through the options we have here, for example, through the offset, we can move the origin, the absolute origin, and bring it close to the drawing, so that the drawing will appear in this window. It is then also possible to visualize the unit. As you probably know, the DXF files do not bring the unit information. So it is necessary to convert the DXF units into meters. Meters is the unit used by the program. In this window you have X, Y, and Z that for a 2D file is always equal to 0. So we focus on the first two ones. X, in this case, for this drawing, is at 26.9 points, the DXF units. And if we convert into meters, it will be 26.8 meters. But it is up to the designer, up to the user, to verify if the dimensions are correct. So we have to verify if this drawing is really 26 meters coming from one point to the other in X and on Y. Let's come now to the LISWIN. The LISWIN is the interactive electronic catalog, the local interactive electronic catalog of the program. We added a brand new budgeting function, which was developed with the same philosophy of the program. As you probably know, Litestar 4D comes from, so let's say the 4D comes from the 3D, so the three main axes, the three main dimensions, with an added one. When we started developing the program, we had in mind to develop a system which could be simple, dynamic, and handiness. So it was supposed to be very fast in both ways, from the point of view of the definition of the project, from the point of view of the definition of the documents, but also we can add from the point of view of the calculation. One part, the budgeting function, was missing, or we have to say that the previous one was not in the same line, with the same, developed with the same philosophy. We introduced a brand new one, which is now, we can say, exactly in that direction. So this brand new module is allowing to manage bills of quantities, budgets, and even complex offers in a few minutes. Importing the files, importing the products, and importing the product list from the interactive electronic catalog itself, or directly from the lighting design program. It is then possible to split into different sub-areas, and then to add the different sub-areas into a main document where you can have a total visualization of the product list, or a visualization in function of the different areas. Once you have the list, it is then possible to develop a very simple but very effective offer. At the LISWIN, We also made some, in this case, a minor change. It is an implementation of a new way of managing the tree appearing at your left. In this case, it is a dynamic tree in the sense that it is possible to select how you want to use the tree. So in this case, and these are the available choices, we are now proposing, I like to say that it is also possible to add other ones. Please write us and we will add them to the list. So in this case, we have the product type, the IP grade, and power. But it is also possible to have a tree in function of the manufacturer type, product type, the IP grade and power, the same manufacturer type, model and power, but also model, so the family name, the ILCOS, the LAMP coding system proposed by the international ISO system, and power. But it is also possible to add other ones, as I mentioned before. Another little change we introduce is that whenever you exit the program and you exit with one choice, you come back to the program exactly with the same choice. Let's come back a little bit on the budgeting function. We also redraw all the modules which are now exactly in the same direction as I mentioned before. These modules, these forms must be very efficient, and as you can see here in the little tab we have here, properties, they are also configurable in function of the needs. So I'd like to say that we have to thank the architects, engineers, and lighting designers who cooperated with us in the development of these modules. And so they added to these modules what should be their added value. So we gave them the option to configure the ferns in the way, for example, to accept also some comments coming from the designers, or to visualize some parts and other not. So these forms are not configured in a single and unique way, but they are configurable in function of the designer's needs. Another main development was done in the way of the mobile applications. So, as you probably know, one of the main modules of Litestar 4D is the web catalog. The web catalog is the visualization, is the browsing system, of the program, of the database of the program. So we can use the database for the local applications, like for the lighting design, but also for the interactive electronic catalog. But the same database without any change can be easily and in a very dynamic way brought to the internet, FTP to the internet, and visualized through the web catalog. We added now also the possibility to visualize the same database, to browse the same database also through the smartphones and through the tablets. This application is available for all the users in the market, but data are coming from the manufacturers and, in the second hand, from the distributors and retailers. They can have this application through the marketing licenses like type F, L, and R. Another change was introduced, a main change from our point of view was introduced at WebOxy, our website. So the new partners section was added to our website. The previous partner section was only dealing with manufacturers. And the other partners of the system, as you probably know, Litestar project, our project has different partners, not only manufacturers. Manufacturers are one of the main part of the system, of the project, but we also consider institutions, wholesalers and distributors, retailers, lighting designers, architects and engineers as our partners. And so we implemented a new system through which we can select the group, and once selected the group, we have the full list of, for example, available institutions, available wholesalers and distributors, lighting designer, architects and engineers. Let's come now to the demonstration of the different features we have introduced up to now. In case you want to have a customized demonstration of the system, please write us. You can find here our email address corresponding to our customer service, or call us at this number, okay, Italy 02-935-63258. So, the first feature I'd like to show you is the one about the photo view, sorry. So we select the photometry directly from the list win, just clicking on PV, photo view. This one will appear. Let's say that it is also possible to simply drag and drop a photometry directly from an external folder. So I select the folder, I select Unumdat, for example, from this manufacturer, and I simply drag and drop it into here. Once I have my photometries, I have to select photometric intensity table. I have to select edit to apply changes and to modify the intensity matrix. I select tilting angle, and this window will appear. From here, I have the original photometry. Here I can define the plane along which I want to tilt the photometry. Let's say that I want to tilt along C0, C180, which means the red line. The angle should be, let's say, 45 degrees. I select the gamma angle, 5 degrees, the C step, and once I have defined my parameters, I select execute. The photometry will be automatically tilted along the defined plane, and once I confirm the tilting through the OK button, a new photometry will be automatically calculated and shown here. From here, I can simply visualize the different graphs and tables. Also with the 3D, you can see here. And once you have finished, you can save the file into one of the available formats, LDT, IS, TML, so the Gypsy TM14 format, the OXL, our format, GF is the format of our GONIO, LTLI, the Scandinavian system, the CIE, the CHEN, and all files in case you want to export to a simple text file. So, as you can see, everything is done from our point of view, in a quite simple way. Okay, let's come now to the road module. We select the wizard for roads. This window will appear through which I can configure my road. I can recognize different zones also at the legend here. Once I have defined all the parameters, I can make a step forward, and in this case I define the placing of the luminaires. Here I have all the different parameters and the setback which I introduce at the presentation. In case you change the value of the setback, as you can see here, the position of the luminaire, which is the vertical, this distance LC, will be automatically changed. So it means that if we define this parameter and this parameter, automatically the program will calculate the third one. Once we have finished, so let's say that here we fix a 5 degrees angle tilting, we have to now define which photometry I want to use. So always from the interactive electronic catalog, I simply drag and drop into here. And from here, I can confirm. But let's say that I want to use the photometry, one photometry I select from an external folder. I simply do the same, simply with a drag and drop. So let's go back to this luminaire, which is a road lighting luminaire. I close this one, I reduce this one, and I finish. The road will appear, as you can see here. And from here, I can run my calculation. The calculation is done completely using the new photon mapping method, which is quite a fast calculation, especially for complex projects. For example, for the interiors, when you have to calculate the shadows, etc. It is a little less slower once you calculate on a road. As you can see here, we have the different areas. We have the different zones, observers, 1, 2, 3, in function of the different lanes. And once you double-click, you visualize the values. Let's go back and come to the advanced module. So I select the properties, modify, and from here forward, I come to the advanced project. If I come from the wizard, the same configuration will appear also at the advanced module. But now I can add other zones. If I selected this icon, which is the one corresponding to the advanced roads, without coming through the wizard, this window will be completely empty, and I can step by step build my road. So let's say that now we want to add a zone, and so we select for example, a cycle path, and the cycle path, the complete zone, will be added above the sidewalk. But let's say that we want to add another subzones corresponding to the zone sidewalk A. I simply select emergency lane, and it will be added here. So in function of the position, it means the zone, the allotted zone, the corresponding subzone or zone will be added. So if we select the sidewalk A, we are here, and we want to add a zone at the bottom, I select at the bottom, I select parking lane, and that's it. From here, I can duplicate, but if I select the carriageway, I duplicate the whole zone. So as you can see, we can build a road in a very simple but very dynamic and very fast way. Once we have finished, we finish pressing the bottom here at your light. As you can see here, we have the numbering of the different zones here. So in total we have six zones. If I want to delete this one, I simply press delete, and that's it. So we terminate, and now we have a completely new road, which is not corresponding to one of the standard ones available through the wizard. Let's say that now we calculate. In this case, it will take a little bit more than before, because we have more zones. But once we come to the end, we visualize the results, we select the different tables, and then we come to the printouts. I'd like to show you that in this case we exactly have the same. So if we select this lane, and then we go back and select also the carriageway A with all the lanes, now we can come to the printouts, and here, as you can see, we have the subzone and we have the zone with the relative numbering system also applied here. Let's come now to the DXF import. We open, as before, an external folder. We select this area, and we simply drag and drop it into the working plane. This window will filter the DXF file and will show you what I described you through the presentation. So in here I can zoom, I can rotate on a 3D view, perspective view. In here we have the top view, and as you can see in this drawing, the origin is placed not exactly in the center of the drawing, but inside the drawing. So I can change the position down to the left, so it will be here, and the choice of the position of the origin is in function of the designer, where he is more comfortable and how is he more comfortable to work. So down left we selected, we may select exactly at the center, and in here we have the coordinates of the absolute origin. We may also select customize, and if we select customize, we place here, for example, 10, and the origin will be brought to the defined position. At the top, you see here the DXF units, 26.9 and 21.7 for X and Y, and in here the dimension coming from the conversion in between DXF units into meters. Once you have configured your DXF, you can confirm, and the DXF will be brought to the working plane. And from here, you can start defining your room, for example, or your exterior, selecting advanced interiors. If you press X, you snap on the points of the DXF drawing, on the intersection of the different lines, and one by one you define your area or your room. That's it. Let's come now to the list win. But before coming to the list win, I like to develop a new project for the road. I select, not after, I select this one, and we confirm. In here we have 2 luminaires. I calculate and I start. At the end, I save my project, and in this case, in this way, the program will prepare the file that I'm going to use for the budgeting module. So I exit, file, save as, webinar on 11, save. And now I come to the list win. Once I'm here, I select the spec module, and this window will appear. From here, I select open, 1, 2, 3, 4. I press tab, and I add a subzone, a sub-project. From here, I select import from LightCalc, the webinar of today, open. It is saying that if we want to sum all the quantities, we select the sum, and so we have the product we selected for the design, and the quantity is introduced at the project. But let's say that we also have some products coming from the list win. So from here, let's say that we want to add this luminaire. We simply press the right click, the right button of your mouse, and then we select the product list from the context menu. So the product will be added to the product list. Now we switch to lamps. We switch to lamps. We select Osram in case. We select this lamp, right click, product list. And now we come back to this view, to this window, and we import. From here, I can immediately jump into the document, and as you can see, up to now I didn't even touch a single time my keyboard. It's clear that if the products are carrying, and this is possible, are carrying the prices will be displayed here. But in case they are not, I can add them through here. So let's say that this is 250 and this is 210. When I jump into here, I have my spec with the prices. If I want to add some notes, I come to this point. I am also in the position to change the product name, but I may also, example, add some text. And the same text we can include as a second note. Once I confirm, if I jump into the form, I will have note 1 and note 2. The same, let's say that we want to create a second area, but belonging to the same project. I simply press the plus sign here, and then I import from the list win in case. The same, I can visualize here only the selected products, because This is accessing only the part corresponding to the sub-project. But if we want to visualize altogether the project we have here, as you can see, we have 2 pages. But if we want to sum them together, we select this second option, and the products will be summed together. We may visualize a budget, what we call the budget form, but also a list form is available, which is simply summarizing the products without images, without anything else than the, let's say, commercial parameters. Again, in the same way, I can input some data about the offer, and I can have at the end the offer. Always split in a sum of the different quantities and split into the different sub-areas. At the end, we can save it, and we call it 4256, and the file, the spec was saved. Let's say that now we go back to the Liswin, and I'd like to show you in short time what's meaning the dynamic tree search. So in here I have, so let's select this one, for example, and from here I select model, Ilkos, and power. There are 2 families available. So here we have the first one, which is corresponding to the road luminaire, and I select this one. But if I open this one, 2 products will appear, as we have here. So if we select this one will appear. If we select this one will appear. So we may switch from one option to the other. And once we exit the program and we come back to the program again, the same choice will be brought back. So the same configuration will be used also whenever we access the program, and we do not change through this option. Let's come now to the Web Catalog mobile system. We can show through the internet how the system is working, because we developed the system in the way that it is possible to visualize it also at the internet, in order to be at the highest level possible of flexibility. So if this is showing you more or less a smartphone, and this is what is appearing at your smartphone if you input m.oxitec.it. So you select the manufacturer of interest. Let's switch from Italian into English. Let's say that we have a total of 21 languages available, and other languages are coming in short time. So we select interiors floor. All the images of the different families and models will appear. We select the Serpenti, for example. In here we have the list. In this case we have a single luminaire, and from here we can access the visualization, the datasheet visualization, and we may switch to the different available images which could be visualized in a larger way. Also the photometry, in case it's available, will be displayed. Once I want to switch from one manufacturer to the other, I simply have to select this one. If I want to switch from one product type to another, I select the manufacturer. I go back to this section. I visualize, select, and come to the data sheet. In case the product was supplied with the different documents, like the product certification or the mounting instructions, etc., I simply select the file, and it will be visualized in short time. So we can manage all the documents in the same way at the internet through the Web Catalog mobile system, but the same can be used also locally through the LISWIN, the interactive electronic catalog we can use locally and where we can store our information. Let's come now to the latest point, which is the one about the new partners section at WebOxy. So from here I can select the partners. This window will appear, and from here I can select the partner group of interest, and automatically the system will show me all the, in this case, available lighting designers who are partners of our system. So I thank you for attending our webinar today.